Welcome to this lesson on organizational process assets or OPAs. Imagine you are a project manager starting a brand new project. You could create every template, define every procedure, and solve every common problem from scratch, but that would be exhausting and unnecessary. What if organization has already collected useful templates, tools, policies, historical information, and lesson learned from previous projects? That is the idea behind OPA. In this video, we'll explore what OPAs are, where they are stored, how project teams use and improve them, and why they matter across project management processes. By the end, you should be able to recognize OPAs in real project situations and explain how they help team work faster, more consistently, and with greater confidence. So, let's get started. Let's begin with a simple situation. Suppose you are asked to start a project tomorrow. You need a project charter, a project plan, a risk register, and an issue log. Would you really want to design all of these documents from a blank page? Usually, the answer is going to be no. Your organization has already learned from previous projects and has created reusable assets to help you. These organizational assets or OPAs, they are collective assets provided by organization to support the project team. Think of OPAs as standardized shortcuts. They can include templates for charter and plans, as well as guidelines, procedures, software tools, and other resources provided through organization or PMO. The big benefit is consistency and speed. Instead of asking, how should we do this? The project team can start with an established approach and focus its energy on delivering the project. So, whenever you see a reusable template, organizational guidelines, or supportive tools that helps team manage the work, think of OPA. Now let's take the next step. Where do organizations' assets actually live? Imagine joining a project team and needing the approval risk management procedure. You search through your emails, old folders, different team drives, and everyone gives you a different version. That creates confusion. A central repository help you solve that problem. For example, organization may use Microsoft SharePoint as a central location where team can access organizational assets when they need them. Knowledge bases can also preserve historical information and lesson learned. This is valuable because organization does not need to repeat same mistake project after project. Then we have formal policies and procedures. These are established organizational standards for areas such as risk management, change control, and defect handling. Together, these resources create something very important, a reliable source of organizational knowledge. And instead of reinventing wheel every time a project starts, teams can build on what organizations has already learned. The key message here is simple. OPAs become much more valuable when they are organized, accessible, and consistently maintained. Here is where OPAs become especially interesting. They are not static libraries that nobody touches, they are living libraries. Think about the life cycle of a project. At the beginning, team pulls existing assets, perhaps project charter template, risk register, issue log to get started quickly. Now, as the project progresses, the team actively uses organizational tools, historical information, and established practices to support decisions and manage risk. But something happens along the way. The team learns. Perhaps they discover a better way to structure the risk register, or maybe they improve how issues are logged. Instead of keeping that improvement inside one project team, the organization can feed that knowledge back into its repository. That creates a feedback loop. Over time, every completed project has the potential to make organizational assets better. The next project manager starts from a stronger foundation than the previous one. This is why we can think of OPAs as continuously evolving organizational knowledge, not simply documents sitting in a folder. Now, let's connect OPAs to the bigger picture of project management. OPAs influence all the 49 project management processes. Why? Because OPAs provide much of organizations how to that helps project team perform its work. Imagine you are managing risk. You may use an organizational risk template or procedure. Now imagine you are developing schedule. There may be established organizational tools, guidelines, or historical information that can help you. And later, when you're closing the project, you may again rely on established procedures and organizational knowledge. So, OPS is not something to be used only at the project initiation. They can support projects from initiation through planning, execution, monitoring and control, and finally closing. The important takeaway is that OPAs provide structure and historical context. They help project managers avoid starting from zero and allowing organizations to benefit from experience gained on previous projects. In other words, OPAs help turn individual project experience into reusable organizational capabilities. Now, let's pause and bring everything together with four ideas. First is core definition. Think of OPAs primarily as organizational templates, software tools, guidelines, procedures, and knowledge that help project team perform their job better. Second, central storage. These assets need to be accessible, and repositories such as SharePoint can provide a common place where stakeholders can find the information they need. Third, it's a two-way street. Project teams do not just simply consume OPAs, they also contribute back. When a team learns something valuable or creates a better template, that knowledge can improve organizational asset library. Fourth, universal impact. In this material, OPAs are presented through input that touches 49 standard project management processes. So, if you only remember one concept from this lesson, remember OPA is an organizational experience packaged into a reusable form. Templates help you start faster, policies help you work consistently, historical information helps you make better decisions, and lesson learned helps the next project team start smarter than the last one. Thank you for joining me in this lesson on organizational process assets. We have seen that OPS are much more than templates. They represent reusable knowledge, tools, guidelines, procedures, and historical experience that help project team work more effectively. And if this lesson helped you understand OPS more clearly, please like the video and share it with your colleague or fellow PMP learner who may find it useful. And if you would like more practical and easy to understand project management lessons, please subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next lesson. Thank you again for watching and supporting this learning community. Keep learning, keep practicing, and keep turning project experiences into project success.